Archangel Michael says, there is something moving silently in the background of your life right now. You have no idea how deeply someone close to your soul has been suffering because of the space between you. Their pain is wrapped in silence, and yet, it screams inside them every day. You may have felt it faintly, like a whisper brushing past your spirit when you're alone. But you didn't stop to ask what that ache really was. You didn't know that your absence could cause such a wound. They don't want to tell you what they're going through, because they want to protect your peace. But in doing so, they're allowing their own peace to be destroyed quietly. This has been going on longer than you know. You're dreaming about them, aren't you? Seeing their name in random places. Feeling a sudden tug in your heart, but not knowing why. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, they don't show their pain. But they've cried about you more times than anyone else ever did. They thought by letting go, they were helping you heal. They thought their silence would ease the weight you carry. Instead, it grew heavier for both of you. They've been protecting your energy while bleeding inside. Someone very close to your heart has been carrying a secret pain caused by something you said, or didn't say. Something you did, or didn't do. But this isn't about blame. This is about a truth that's been buried for too long. This is about emotion that's been suffocating without air. And it's about to surface. Type Amen to get blessing 984. There's a memory between you two that they revisit every night. A moment when they thought you understood them fully. But now, they feel like that moment is lost forever. They've stopped trying to reach out. Not because they don't care, but because they believe you don't. Their pain is born from love. And only love can heal it. But love that remains silent too long becomes a shadow. You may notice they've changed. Their light is dimmer. Their laughter sounds forced. Type Amen to get blessing 652. They are trying to stay strong for everyone else. But behind closed doors, they are collapsing quietly. And still, they check up on you silently, watching from afar. They never stopped loving you. They just stopped showing it. Because they thought their love became a burden. But it wasn't a burden. It was a lifeline. One you didn't realize was holding you together. This person close to your heart is not mad at you. They are broken-hearted. Because they still care, even after the silence. Type Amen to get blessing 711. They saw the good in you when no one else did. They protected your name in rooms you'll never walk into. They forgave things you never apologized for. But even strong hearts break. And theirs is fractured from waiting too long for clarity. For a sign that you still care. They are not seeking revenge. They are seeking peace. A peace that only you can unlock. There's a heaviness in their chest every time they remember your voice. A longing every time they remember your touch. And a silence that cuts like a blade when they realize how far you've drifted. Type Amen to get blessing 874. Archangel Michael says, this is your divine wake-up call. To recognize the soul that has always held space for you, even in your worst. To acknowledge the pain you unknowingly caused. They don't want your pity. They want your truth. They want to feel seen again by the one they never stopped seeing. You might not get many more chances to make this right. Because hearts can only stay open so long before they shut out of protection. And once they shut, no key fits. This message isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to shake you awake. Before it's too late to fix what was real. Type Amen to get blessing 400. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. You don't need to speak perfect words. You don't need a grand apology. You just need to acknowledge what your silence caused. They will understand more than you think. Because their love was never shallow. It came from a place of depth and purity. They don't just miss you. They miss who they were when you were around. They miss the safety of your presence. You gave them hope. Then you became the reason they question everything. But they still hold a tiny flame for you, hoping it's not the end. Type Amen to get blessing 199. They're not trying to be strong anymore. They're just trying to survive. And even now, they'd still show up for you in a heartbeat. But their soul is tired. Tired of pretending it's okay. Tired of watching you move forward without them. They have prayed for you more times than they've prayed for themselves. And even in silence, their spirit called out to you. But you didn't hear it. Or maybe you ignored it. Because you thought they'd always be there. But nothing stays forever when love is left in the dark. Type Amen to get blessing 812. You didn't just disappear from their life. You disappeared from their peace. And now, they're trying to rebuild something you were once part of. But the foundation is cracked. And their trust is hanging by threads. Yet, some part of them still believes in your goodness. They're not bitter. They're bruised. Still loyal in their heart, but exhausted in their soul. They want to scream, but instead, they stay quiet. They want to run to you, but they stay still. Because they're waiting for you to notice. Type Amen to get blessing 577. Archangel Michael says, this person needs you more than ever now. But pride has built a wall between you both. And it's getting higher every day. One message from you could bring peace to a storm they've been battling alone. One moment of truth could heal what's been breaking them. But the longer you wait, the more the distance becomes permanent. They haven't moved on emotionally. They're pretending to. But every version of joy they try to create still has your shadow over it. You owe them not just your words, but your heart. Because they gave you theirs without hesitation. And now, they don't know how to get it back. Type Amen to get blessing 748. They kept your secrets. They loved your flaws. They supported dreams you didn't even believe in yet. And now, they lie awake wondering if you ever really cared. Because your silence hurts more than 1,000 rejections. It feels like abandonment disguised as peace. The most painful part is that they still look for signs of you. In music, in dreams, in places you both once stood. And when they don't find you, they feel the pain all over again. You didn't lose just anyone. You lost someone who would have walked through fire for you. And even now, they might still try if you reached out. Type Amen to get blessing 901. They wanted you to grow. They wanted you to find your path. But they didn't expect to be forgotten on the journey. They still smile at your name. But the tears behind that smile hold everything they couldn't say. Because your absence spoke louder than any argument ever could. They blame themselves sometimes. Thinking maybe they loved too hard. Or stayed too long. But they never regret loving you. Even in pain, their heart remains pure for you. Because some connections are divine, even if they hurt. Type Amen to get blessing 276. This person doesn't want revenge. They want release. From the weight of wondering if they mattered. They want closure. Not to walk away, but to breathe again. To feel like they weren't just a phase in your storm. Their pain isn't loud. It's silent, cold, and steady. Like a winter that refuses to end. And all they've ever wanted was warmth from you. One word, one look, one effort. But they got frost instead. Type Amen to get blessing 644. You still hold power over their emotions. And you probably don't even realize it. Because when they loved, they did it with everything. But now, they're learning to unlove you. Not because they want to. But because they have to. And if you don't speak now, their heart will close for good. And when it does, it won't reopen. This is your moment. To choose love over pride. To heal instead of hide. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Do not wait for time to fix this. Time only numbs the pain, it doesn't dissolve it. Only truth can do that. This person was your gift. And they still are. But gifts left unopened fade away. You were their home. And they're still standing in the doorway, waiting. Hoping you turn back around. But their hope is not infinite. It's fragile now. Hanging by one last invisible thread. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They never wanted to let you go. But holding on has been hurting more than healing. And now, they're quietly preparing to release you. Not because they stopped caring. but because they can't keep breaking daily in silence. They've reached their final threshold. And even now, if you spoke from your heart, they'd listen. They'd forgive. Because real love never turns off, it only waits. But don't make it wait forever. Or you'll wake up one day and realize they're gone. And you can't call back what you ignored too long. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Their silence isn't peace. It's resignation. It's the sound of a soul giving up after screaming with no answer. They held on as long as they could. But no one can hold on to someone who's already let go. They gave you everything and waited with nothing in return. There's still time. But it's dripping like sand between fingers. And you can feel it, can't you? The world might not know what's happening. But your spirit does. It knows what's slipping away quietly. Type Amen to get blessing 1281. Every breath they take now is heavy with memories. Every quiet night reminds them of everything they lost. Not to fate, but to your silence. They don't need you to be perfect. They never did. They only needed you to be present. When they said they were okay, they lied. They said it because they thought you didn't have space for their truth. But that truth is rotting inside them now. They believed in your soul even when you didn't believe in yourself. That belief is what makes the pain deeper. Because you let it go like it was nothing. Type Amen to get blessing 4401. Archangel Michael says, this connection is not ordinary. It's been touched by higher realms, watched over by unseen forces. But even spiritual bonds break when the human heart can't bear the weight. They still pray for you. Even now, with tears in their eyes and cracks in their voice. They pretend they've moved on. They smile. They post happy pictures. But their soul is screaming. And their pillow is the only place that knows the real story. The one where you never returned. They never needed everything. They just needed to not be forgotten. But you left them holding on to memories alone. Type Amen to get blessing 5542. They walk through life with invisible wounds. Smiling for the world, bleeding inside. And no one knows the reason but you. They hoped you would sense it. Hoped your spirit would hear the ache in theirs. But you stayed distant. You think you have more time. But the truth is, time is running out. Because their soul is growing colder. Not out of hate. But out of exhaustion. They are tired of loving in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 6700. They thought of writing to you 100 times. But every time, fear held their hand back. Fear that you wouldn't care. And maybe you wouldn't. Or maybe you would. But they didn't want to find out the hard way. They remember your words, your laughter, even your pauses. It haunts them. Because in those spaces, they feel all the things they never got to say. And the pain they still can't name. Type Amen to get blessing 7303. They never asked for much. Just that you'd see them. Really see them. Not through screens. Not through memories. But through the eyes of now. You still have the power to ease their pain. To show them that your silence was not abandonment, but fear, confusion, or your own healing process. But if you wait too long, they may never believe it. Because pain makes the heart forget goodness. And they're forgetting the warmth of your soul. Even though they never wanted to. Even though it once lit up their world. Type Amen to get blessing 8124. This isn't just about love. It's about dignity. It's about emotional survival. They begged the universe for a sign from you. And got silence. Over and over again. They stopped waiting at the door. They stopped rereading old messages. But they never stopped loving. And that's the tragedy. To love in silence. To be loyal in the dark. To hope that maybe, just maybe, you'd feel their heart break and come home. But you didn't. Type Amen to get blessing 8911. They aren't the same person anymore. They're colder. More guarded. They had to be. Because your absence taught them to protect themselves. Even from you. But inside that armor is the same soul. The one that adored you. The one that still aches for you. They pretend they don't miss you. But every love song tells your story. And every quiet moment reminds them of your silence. They aren't angry. They are grieving. And grief looks like strength sometimes. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. They once waited for your name to pop up on their screen. They used to light up just hearing your voice. Now, they flinch at the memory. They've seen your name. Heard it whispered by strangers. Felt it in dreams. But it doesn't bring joy anymore. It brings questions. Pain. Confusion. Yet, if you came back with truth and heart, they'd still hold out their hand. Because real love remembers. Even when it hurts. Even when it's been silent too long. Even when it's forgotten by one, but lived fully by the other. Type Amen to get blessing 10001. This person is still connected to you. But that connection is flickering. One more gust of silence, and it may go out forever. Your spirit knows who this is. You've felt the pull. The ache in moments that didn't make sense. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was a cry from their soul. begging yours to remember. This pain isn't random. It's spiritual. It's divine correction. You're being asked to choose. To step in, or to let it disappear. Forever. Type Amen to get blessing 10222. They haven't told anyone. Because how do you explain a heartbreak no one saw happen? How do you describe a silence that feels like thunder? They deserve peace. They deserve closure. And maybe, they deserve you. You have more power than you know. A single message from you could shift the weight they've carried for months. Even years. Don't let the ego speak louder than the heart. Because hearts like theirs don't come twice. And when they're gone, it's for good. This pain they feel, you can stop it. But only if you move now. Type Amen to get blessing 10333. They are preparing to walk away. Not out of hatred, but out of self-respect. And they may never look back. Even if it kills them. Even if a part of them dies with the goodbye. This is your sign. Your moment. Your divine intervention. Don't ignore it. Because someone who once prayed for your joy is now praying for the courage to live without you. And that's not how this story was meant to end. It was meant to be healed. Together. Type Amen to get blessing 10555. They used to believe love conquers all. Now, they just want love to stop hurting. Because what they feel isn't romantic anymore, it's survival. They survive each day by pretending they've let go. But inside, they're still hoping for a miracle. For the one person they trusted the most to show up. They are scared to hope again. Scared to reopen the door that never fully closed. Because what if you leave again? They don't know if they can take another disappearance. Another quiet exit. Another season of silence. Type Amen to get blessing 11010. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. You see, some hearts don't shatter in one loud moment. They crack slowly, quietly, piece by piece. And no one sees it, until the heart is dust. This person close to your soul has been walking around with that dust. Trying to shape it back into something whole. But it's getting harder. Because every time they try to rebuild, another memory of you knocks it down. Another wave of, what if, pulls them under. They have loved you through every version of yourself. Even the ones you didn't love. Even the ones that forgot how to love back. Type Amen to get blessing 11111. Archangel Michael says, this message is not here to blame you. It is here to awaken you. To show you what's been hiding beneath the surface. To pull the curtain off a soul that's been silently screaming. To ask you, through divine timing, to finally see. This person never wanted perfection. They wanted presence. But instead of being held, they were left holding on. They don't even want explanations anymore. Just acknowledgement. Just something real. They don't hate you. They're just tired of hurting. And their silence is their final attempt to protect their heart. Type Amen to get blessing 11444. They loved in a way that made angels weep. They carried your soul like a sacred promise. But even sacred things crumble when left in darkness too long. You were their home. Their peace. Their sanctuary. Now, you're a ghost they talk to in their dreams. A feeling they can't explain to anyone else. Because no one else would understand. Their pain is not loud, but it is deep. It is carved into their daily routine. Etched into the seconds where they once found you. They try to forget you. But your spirit lingers in everything they do. And sometimes, that hurts more than remembering. Type Amen to get blessing 11888. They check their phone less now. They've stopped expecting a message from you. But deep down, they still wish for it. Not because they need closure. But because they need truth. Something real to hold on to before they let go for good. You still have a chance. A moment in time where healing is possible. But it's slipping. Their heart is closing like a final chapter. And unless you write your part now, it'll end without your voice. They don't want pity. They want presence. And that's something only you can give. Type Amen to get blessing 12001. They once believed you'd come back. They even defended you to themselves. Said maybe you were just healing. But now they wonder. Were you healing? Or were you just gone? They've cried over songs that reminded them of you. And smiled through tears during memories. Because your impact was that strong. But love that waits too long turns into sorrow. And that sorrow becomes silence. Until one day, they'll forget how you used to sound. You still live in their heart. But you're fading. And they are starting to live without you. Type Amen to get blessing 12222. Their spirit is fragile. Not because it's weak. But because it gave everything. They gave you access to their most hidden parts. The parts they never shared before. And they didn't ask for much in return. Just honesty. Just effort. Just love that doesn't disappear. But when love becomes a ghost, it haunts more than it heals. And now, they are haunted. Haunted by your silence. Haunted by what could have been. And haunted by the version of you they believed in. Type Amen to get blessing 12345. You are not too late. But you're close. The edge is near. They are praying for a sign. This message is that sign. Don't ignore it. Don't let this connection be another unfinished story. Don't let their pain be just a lesson. Let it be a bridge. One that you walk across. One that brings you both to healing, to truth, to love, to peace. Because if you wait longer, that bridge will fall, and you'll never find your way back. Type Amen to get blessing 12666. This is sacred. This is not just emotion. It is divine alignment. You were meant to love them right. You were meant to show up. But fear and ego got in the way. Now, the heavens are stepping in. Giving you this moment. This chance. Don't let it slip through your hands. Because regret lasts longer than pride. And real love waits only so long. They were your miracle. Your anchor. And now, they're floating away. Type Amen to get blessing 12888. You'll remember this day. The moment you read these words. Because your soul knows the truth. They still love you. But they are running out of ways to show it. Running out of reasons to believe. Reach out. Not with perfect words. But with a real heart. Because even a whisper from you could be enough to break the silence. And finally bring peace to a soul that never stopped believing in you. Type Amen to get blessing 13,000. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.